Welcome back to another YouTube video from DSR Ghostwriting. My name is Daniel Rosel. I founded the company a few years ago and I specialize in working with technology companies to help them plan and execute thought leadership campaigns. So another question I get quite frequently, or I hear quite frequently from prospects, is do you think our thought leadership needs a strategy, and various permutations along that, such as does it need its own strategy? Should content marketing be the strategy? So here are just a couple of things I always tell people. The first thing is that strategy is generally a good idea. If you're investing money in a writing program, if you're committing to something for a long period of time, and something interesting from the Edelman LinkedIn thought leadership study that I've B2B thought leadership impact study is that they find that the longer organizations do thought leadership as a tradition of thought leadership, in inverted commas, develops, the better the caliber of the thought leadership. But actually, the more people are satisfied, the internal satisfaction builds. So people start to understand, it seems, the benefits of thought leadership, and when they do, they start to get behind the effort. So there is not diminishing returns, but increasing returns if you take thought leadership seriously within your organization. The question of whether it needs a strategy, therefore, I would say in almost all cases, unless you're planning just one or two ad hoc articles, if this is going to be something organized and a campaign, it would be best for you to coalesce your objectives into a strategy. And the good thing about coming up with a strategy document is it forces you to think, what are you trying to achieve? What is the strategy? Now, the next question people have is, does thought leadership need its own strategy, or should it be in the PR strategy or the marketing strategy or the content marketing strategy? Let me just pause there and say the content marketing and thought leadership are not the same thing. If you have not seen my videos or articles or podcasts on the matter, then check out my YouTube channel. I do have a 5-minute explanation about why thought leadership is not content marketing. And the danger with using a content marketing strategy for thought leadership is it's going to kind of prime you not to make that distinction. And it's really important you do make a distinction. Thought leadership is a peer-to-peer exercise. Typically, content marketing is typically more top-down. Thought leadership is often about building awareness. Thought leadership is content marketing is working slightly down the sales funnel. Therefore, it wouldn't be a crazy idea. In fact, it would be a good idea to have both strategies for content marketing and thought leadership. Often what I'll do is, if I'm working on a strategy for a client, I'll write the content marketing strategy is typically most of it, because most organizations, if they're doing thought leadership well and they're producing true thought leadership, will be heavier on the content marketing than the thought leadership, because true thought leadership is a rarer commodity than content marketing. So what I would recommend is doing mostly a content marketing strategy and then writing a little addendum to that for your thought leadership pieces. In terms of editorial calendars, I think they can definitely be integrated usually into the one editorial calendar. The exception would be if you're really investing in thought leadership, you're a big enterprise with a lot of genuine thought leadership to put out there. In that case, I think it would be worth producing a separate strategy document just for thought leadership. Final point is that thought leadership tends to borrow heavily from public relations. So they're very intertwined. Content marketing is, I say, almost closer to sales. When you're looking at thought leadership, we're talking about leveraging the power of thought and messaging. So you might have, for example, a public relations document which sets out your top level and your secondary messaging, and then those points would be bled down into content marketing and thought leadership. And if you just have a PR strategy document, you could have the PR strategy document and then integrate those points into thought leadership. But those would kind of sit in alignment, and content marketing would sit slightly to the side. That's typically the way I recommend that organizations for best results configure. To summarize, yes, I do recommend that for thought leadership, that it's worth going through the process of coming up with a strategy document, talking about what you hope to achieve from thought leadership, what your messaging is going to be, what the buyer personas you're targeting are, what kind of vehicles are going to be, whether it's going to be off-site, on-site, managed or non-managed, what kind of vehicles you're going to leverage. And that can certainly be a separate strategy document from the content marketing strategy, but both can borrow from elements in the overall marketing / branding strategy document or the PR and communication strategy. That is my thoughts on thought leadership strategy. If you are interested in using thought leadership in your organization or for yourself, thought leadership can increase both hard and soft metrics. It can build you a better reputation. It can allow you to leverage a premium charge for your goods or services. If you're interested in working with somebody to develop a strategy tailored to the needs of your business and then execute on that editorial calendar, well, speak to me, please, or consider speaking to me. And my website is at dsrghostwriting.com. Hope this was helpful and have a great day.